Gentlemen, welcome everybody to the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Thank you everybody who follows events in the east of Ukraine. And we are starting to talk on humanitarian maps, and 1,000 of detailed maps of territory will be provided to anti-terrorist operation volunteers by the Center of Support to Volunteers. For every fighter who is taking part in the anti-terrorist operation, we'll talk to Roman Oryshchenko, head of the Center of Support to Volunteers, and Yevgen Chebotaryev, civic activist. The floor is yours. Glory to Ukraine, because our guys from all around Ukraine are fighting for the territorial integrity of Ukraine in the east, in Donbass, and protecting our country. Those who stayed behind have a duty to help those who are on the front line, and the Center of Support to Volunteers is staging different events to help guys in fighters in the front line. One of the projects is, we talk to battalion commanders and fighters and anti-terrorist center, and there's a need for new maps reflecting today's situation. So we undertook this project, and together with the headquarters of land forces and with the commander-in-chief, we made those maps, which became not only topographic but also military, for our military to use and to be able to liberate our territory as soon as possible. And now Yevgen Chebotaryev will talk in more detail about those maps. In one of the convoys, we have sent to fighters and commanders maps like this. The scale here is 1 to 100,000. There is 1 kilometer in every centimeter of the map, and they were telling us that they need maps. We found one of the biggest cartographic companies. They do not want to name their name, and they produced new maps. The most recent ones were issued by the USSR headquarters back in 1988. So this is 1 centimeter for 500 meters, 24 pages, A0 format, and the circulation is 1,000. The maps reflect locality as it was in January this year. Here you can see the heights, and the main thing that there's a network of coordinates of House Kruger, which is the one to use when firing artillery. Yesterday we got the copies, and from today they will go to our bodyguards, to volunteers, to partisan detachments, to our National Guards and armed forces. Our next stage of the project is, we've got a signal copy of the maps of the biggest cities. This is the 11 pages of Donetsk and Makiivka, and the scale is 1 centimeter for 100 meters. We have such a map for Luhansk and Gorlivka in soft copy. Next week we will have the print of those maps. The third stage is that the publishing company is now working on the maps of the rest of district centers of the zone of anti-terrorist operation, and I think that we will win this war. And I think that our next stage will be the map of Crimea. Thank you. I wanted to add that it was only yesterday that we got the maps from the print shop, and today at 6 p.m. from the Ukrainian home, our convoy goes to the anti-terrorist operation. They are going straight to the front line so that they go to our battalions in order to more efficiently plan operations and combat actions. And because today we still have commanders of battalions who came here for rotation, and for instance, the commander of the Special Battalion Chernihiv, we want to pass the first copies of the maps to him. Thank you for maps. I agree they will help us significantly in situ, depending on what the tasks are before us. This will simplify our work. Thank you that you are fighting for us in the east of Ukraine. And we thank the activists who help all our fighters who take part in the anti-terrorist operation. Any questions? What about the next print? What will be the number of copies, and how will you get those maps to the front line, and whether those maps will be given to volunteers who are not within the National Guards? The next stage, we will print the maps of Luhansk, Donetsk, Makiivka, and Gorlivka, and on the third stage of all the district centers of the anti-terrorist operation zone, and the maps will go to the battalions and to the headquarters of land forces and to the headquarters of the anti-terrorist operation and to the National Guards, and they will reach every detachment, every battalion. Will they reach the volunteers? I mean, those who are not registered, the maps will be handed over to guerrilla detachments. We have contact with them. Here, on every map, you see the text. You can get the map, a telephone. You can get the map while after calling the Center for Support to Volunteers. So everyone who gets this map may inform the others, and of course these maps will go to guerrilla detachments. The first print is 1,000, but we have already published some copies, even on film, and there was not a sufficient quality. But you know, this is like a bullet in a rifle. You work with it for a week, and then you may burn it because it's all crisscrossed. Then our next print is going to be 500 because the zone of the anti-terrorist operation is dwindling. For how long have you been working on the project? I think it took us 2 or 3 weeks, because when we started to look for it, turned out that this map publishing company has been already working about this, and they were almost finished with it. So it turned out that we have a lot of people who are thinking about the future. Are they thinking about maps, Donetsk and Lugansk? I'll repeat now. This is the entire zone of the anti-terrorist operation of Donetsk and Luhansk region. The next print is going to be about maps of the cities. in the scale 1 centimeter for 100 meters. They will be out of print next week. Thank you. Any other questions? I'd like to finish with my thanks to all our partners, because this was our joint work and the Center of Support to Volunteers with the headquarters of Land Forces and the Scout organization, and also the Society to Help the Defense. They joined in our effort and they helped to print them as soon as possible. We hope for the public support and will be able to print the next print as soon as possible, including the border territories that verge on the Russian aggressor's territory. Thank you for your very necessary work, and we hope that people will get your maps, but maybe they will soon not be needed as much as they are needed now. Thank you.